Hey, I want to welcome you to Framework. I truly believe that as people who are sharing in this space, that a little bit of background is important. If anyone really wants to know any other details, you can ask. My background is architecture. I'm a residential architect. It's what I've always wanted to do. It's my passion, and it's what I continued through until my adulthood and got the degrees and the certifications, the registration, all that. Got the opportunity to become a mother and step away from things and a bunch of other stuff. So my revamp moment that I think a lot of us can probably resonate with is this Phoenix moment where my children are old enough now that I can finally come back into myself. So when I started viewing wellness, I looked at all of the typical dichotomies and I just felt like something was missing and not resonating, and that wellness is a bigger part of us, and I really wanted to dive in and figure out what that really meant. And what I realized is it means something completely different to everybody. So classic architect style, I broke this down into a matrix. So I have this robot brain and this art brain that try to work together, and so I'm taking this creative stuff and trying to make sense of it. So it became a matrix that I started to realize actually formed a framework, which is what I'm presenting to you now. I'm so excited to share it with you because the main and only point of this is to empower you. And so if I could share an analogy, I'm the architect of this. So I design houses, but they look different for everybody. And I can tell you where I think the lights and the plumbing and even your bed should go, maybe, but it's your house. And you're probably going to pick a different floor plan from someone else. And even if you had the same floor plan, I bet you would pick different fixtures and different carpets and all of that good stuff that make up your house, your space, your life. And so if we start to view this as a house that we can build together, and I would be honored to be your guide in this and maybe say, hey, it's time to pick light fixtures. Let's focus just on light fixtures right now. I don't make light fixtures, but I know some really awesome people who do, and I know some really awesome companies. Do you want the really arty fun ones, or do you just want the functional ones? This is your choice. So if I could just say, hey, let's pick light fixtures. This is your invitation. Let's go check out light fixtures. I want you to go check out light fixtures in your way. So framework is going to work like this for wellness. And I use that word with big air quotes because, again, that just means so much for so many people. Each month, we're going to focus on different things. And again, invitation for you to just go wild. Choose your own adventure because it's your life. So you pick it. And I'm basing this all on seasonal energy. So right now we're recording this in the end of March. Spring equinox just happened. And I don't know about you guys, but in the winter, I really wish I almost had more permission from society to just be like, it's winter. We're hibernating. Everything's hibernating. If something's not hibernating, it's closed up to its minimum bare function to just survive. So we're coming out of this winter energy. So this will be another video. We can go more into depth with it later. But this is very let's bloom and come out of our hibernation mode energy. And so that affects everything. I'm going to do a room, an actual room in your house, and say, okay, this month we're focusing on this room. And if you want to dive into that, cool, let's dive together. If that doesn't resonate, you don't want to do it, fine. We'll talk about that later or never. Maybe it'll never resonate with you. And again, this is your journey. So again, I'm setting the prompts. You choose the adventure. What about wellness? Do you do wellness at all? Or if you already have a really strong practice, maybe you're building on it. So again, this is a beginner to advanced level 2. So I'll give some prompts and I'll even tell you what I'm messing with and what I'm experimenting and playing with. And so I'll give those prompts. And if you want to go dive out and explore, go ahead. And so that will go for rooms, it'll go for wellness, it'll even go for movement. I know movement is so important to people, and to a lot of people it's not. There's just too much else going on. I know if you put me in a gym, I will just sit there and stare at everything, and I will be looking for the door to immediately leave. My husband, however, thrives in gym environments, and he's really good at figuring out the different machines and what he wants to work on. And so I think those are, when you have these intimate connections with people and you see their preferences, you realize how many different ways you can look at things. So movement for me looks completely different than movement for him. But I think the important thing is that we do take care of our bodies. And movement, somehow, what does that mean for you? I think as adults, we have enough going on with checklists in our lives, don't we? Like we have these things you have to checklist on. It's important. It's vital. That's adulting. That's living. We have to go through these things. But maybe for things like movement, we could give ourselves permission to say, okay, what's actually fun? Can I explore things that I actually think are fun? If I don't think something's fun, I will guarantee you're going to fail at it and not do it. So I would rather you experiment with a bunch of stuff and realize it's not your favorite than just not even try it all, because you have a history or a tradition of just not moving. And especially, again, we're in the spring energy. If you haven't been moving all winter, neither have a lot of us, right? We've been in survival mode. So if you're ready to start moving again, here's your invitation. And what does that look like for you? Okay, so house, wellness, movement, and then I will go a little bit into what I'm calling ethical practices. But maybe it's just, I come at this from a non-religious background, but it definitely applies to everybody. So even if you're not religious, there's still just some really good stuff to consider. So these are more thoughts and things to ponder than they are prescriptive. So we'll go into those 4 things, and as Framework evolves, which I hope it does, over the years, every time we come back around to a month, I would love to switch it up and change it. Let's start adding seasonal eating and all that good stuff. So there's plenty of fun stuff on the way. But this is your hello, I'm Stephanie, and this is Framework Wellness video, and I hope this resonated with you. I'm going to go into a couple more things in the next video, and then we'll start diving into the seasons. Let's do this.